Today I'm going to share a Florida inspired little scene from my sketchbook that you can draw and paint along with me. You just need colored pencils, markers, a watercolor brush, and some water. This is something that's very easy to transport and take with you when you go on vacation or you're traveling. And honestly, I bought these art supplies from the dollar store, so it's not anything fancy. As you can see, I'm sketching in a palm tree from Florida and just getting all the little details with the black colored pencil. Taking a look at my scenery, making sure that I like the composition, and now I'm going to add some landscape. This was actually in my backyard, but I wanted a beach scene, so I decided to make this palm tree coming up close to the beach. After I looked at this, I decided to add some more color and some depth to the palm tree. So I'm adding in some green colored pencil and just going over and over and over these branches. Needed another little piece there, and it doesn't have the black, but that adds dimension. So not all of the palms have the dark underlying color. Some of them are lighter as you come forward, but as you can see, it is adding some depth and movement to this palm tree. And this is something that you can do very easily. As you can see, I don't have a very good camera angle, and I'm just sitting out in the sunshine, sketching and coloring in these leaves. And it's actually very therapeutic when you pick a subject that has repetitive strokes. It just puts you in that zone of comfort and ease, and that's what I was feeling when I was drawing this palm tree. Very relaxed, comfortable, and easy. You know, art has a way of transporting you to a place of peace and tranquility, and that's why I suggest you practice it on a daily basis. Here you can see I'm just going a little bit higher speed, adding a different color of the green. So as you can see, some of the green is lighter and some is darker, and now I'm sketching in that beach, and here's the water. Something to keep in mind when you're drawing water: as the waves get closer to you, they're bigger and they have more movement. So you can see I'm adding some little bumps and movement to the waves that are closer, and then as the horizon recedes, the waves appear smaller and more flat. That's a good tip when you're painting water. And then I'm adding some yellow and some pink and blue to the sky, and just kind of going with that Florida sunset vibe. I think I added some orange here too. Then I decided it was needing something over in this right hand side, so I added the grassy foliage on the right side, and you know the ends have those little wispy things, so I put those on there and just kind of coloring those in. And there's the first part of this painting. Alright, now I'm adding the colored markers, and these are just, as I showed you, off-brand water-soluble markers that I got from the dollar store. And you can see, again, I'm making the waves in the front larger and the waves in the back more close together. and with less movement. Now I'm going to add a little bit of definition to my grassy foliage and just color that in with my markers just to make it more prominent. And wait till you see what I do with the watercolor with this little sketch, because it's so cool and it makes such unique shading and blending that you're going to want to try this for sure. But right now I'm just kind of adding some more depth and prominence to the grass. The roots of the grass are usually more full than the top wispy parts. And then I'll add a little bit to the tree as well. The trees in Florida have like these V-shaped bark things. So that's what I added to this tree trunk of this palm tree. And again, it gives it a lot of definition, movement. Now I'm trying to make the left side of the tree darker than the right side, because in my mind the sun is coming from the right upper corner. So when you're making a landscape, always keep in mind where your light is coming from so that you can get your shading right. Adding some green now to the tree and to the palm branches and leaves. Again, so very therapeutic with these similar marks that you're making. And I think the brown and the green together, create a lot more interest in this palm tree. You could even add a little yellow in if you wanted to, just to give it even more color. Now I'm going to darken up the sand with, I'm using the side of my marker here just to add a little bit more depth and darkness to the base where this tree is coming from. And don't worry if it's messy, because again, we're going to use water to really make some unique blending. Using the side of my marker up in the sky. First I went with yellow, and then I decided, let's add some more color to this. So when I was finished with the yellow, I picked up my red marker. You can choose whatever colors you want. You can add orange to the sky. And again, using the side of my brush. Now, I wasn't crazy about these big marks, but it's okay because, again, these are water-soluble markers, and once you add the water to them, it creates some really cool effects. All right, this is in the bathroom, so I just took a flat brush, and make sure that you rinse the brush very well in between colors so that you don't get a muddy appearance. But already you can see how using the water on these water-soluble markers creates a lot of interest and really cool blending. Now with the tree, I'm being very careful not to get my water on the palms themselves, because the green and the orange would create somewhat of a muddy color. When you're doing the water, just try and use the end of your brush on the top of the line and bring it down a little bit to create those waves. And don't play with it too much because you don't want to blend it so much. You want those distinct differences that create value in lightness and darkness. Now with a smaller brush, I'm going into the tree, and first I want to highlight those dark brown areas that I added, and then I will take it out to the palms themselves. Again, I'm trying to be careful not to pull in the water from the background into the tree, only because that will create a muddy effect, and I don't really want that. Just going down the tree stump. Alright, you want to let this dry completely, and then you will have a beautiful landscape.